So this is another one of my bipolar videos, and this one specifically is about time and how time is warped when you're going through a manic psychotic episode. Time can seem really short and time can seem really long. And time, when you're going manic psychotic, you don't even think about time. It's not on your mind whatsoever. And I'll give you an example of this. So we were camping in France and we were going north, and I can't remember, maybe it was the second to last night before getting the ferry. And we'd found a swimming pool because it was hot, it was the summer. Heidi wanted to swim. I love swimming and I love the water. I wasn't yet totally off my rocker, but I was getting there. And anyway, I saw this guy in the swimming pool who was clearly a father with their child, having fun in the swimming pool, and I noticed that he had a little bit of nose missing. Literally wasn't there, so you could kind of see up his nostrils slightly. And I was really curious about that, and I really wanted to ask him why he had that on his nose. So anyway, he got out of the pool and I was kind of watching him a bit, and I followed him. This is the kind of crazy stuff you do. And I kind of waited until him and his daughter had been in the shower, and I stopped him and I asked him, why have you got this was all in French, by the way, why is your nose like that? And he was amazing, actually. He very honestly said that he'd had cancer, and in that part, and they'd had to cut it out. He kind of asked me, was I alright, kind of thing. I think he could see that I wasn't in a good place, and I think I was quite upset by what he told me. I don't think I was crying, but he could clearly see that, you know, things weren't looking quite right, maybe with my eyes or my facial expressions. And I remember later on, he obviously went to go and get changed or whatever, sat on the wall near the swimming pool again, and I was just mulling this whole thing over in my mind, like, oh my God, he's had his nose cut out, he's got cancer, and then and then I started thinking about myself, because I don't know if you can see it, but right here on my nose, on the same side that he had, I've got this quite large freckle, which I've had nearly all my life. And I was thinking, oh my God, what if I've got cancer? What if that freckle is actually cancerous? What if I need to have my nose cut out? And this was going on and on in my mind, and I can't remember if I was crying or not, but I think he came up to me at that point then, and he was like, really, are you okay? He might have asked me, you know, where are my family, or do I have anyone with me? But anyway, this whole section of time, I don't know how long it went on for, but Heidi and Robin had been swimming with me, and Robin had gone off to go and start the dinner, and I'd been gone ages. I probably should have been back kind of half an hour before I did come back. They were starting to get worried. I don't think I had my mobile phone with me. So I turned up, and he was like, you know, where have you been? And I told him a bit about this cancer story, and he was like, what the hell are you talking about, Joanna? Maybe we should talk about this later, you know, not in front of Heidi. He was like, what's going on here, what's going on here? You know, for him, it was still, he was still trying to work out, you know, what the hell's going on with my wife. Because this was new for him. He'd never seen me going through an episode like this. It was my first. So that's how time can be really long, and you're just not aware of time passing at all. It's not an important thing at all. You're just following your own track, you're following your own story, you're following wherever things take you, and it can take you a really long time to, I don't know, find your way back to your own life. And then another aspect, so we had to do a lot of driving, because we had to drive all the way from like the Dordogne back to Calais to get the ferry. And again, that was really trapping, being with my seatbelt on, being hot, not being able to move, not being able to walk. That was really difficult. And so I'd have my water bottles right by my feet, and sometimes I'd just like open the window and have a blast of air, and then that'd be too much for Heidi and I'd have to close it, and because we didn't have aircon or anything. And I just kind of, I remember pressing my forehead quite a lot, and that would feel kind of calming at times. I just press really hard, and it's almost like all my thoughts would just be concentrated into that one place. And I remember singing the song, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and da 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 da. And for me, and it was kind of one of Heidi's songs. She liked singing it at the time. She was about 3. Just being able to sing those numbers was kind of a little bit slightly calming, just something to focus on that wasn't the scenery speeding past at the speed of lightning, and because I couldn't look sideways, it was too difficult for my eyes, and whenever I looked around me I didn't know if stuff was real or unreal, or was I hallucinating, was I not, everything was just so confusing. So I would just be like that, with my eyes closed. And so time is, I don't know, almost kind of really condensed, and everything's so condensed and so minute and so focused. And then so I'd go from that song where you've got 10 numbers, and then I would just go 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. I might not say it out loud, but in my mind it was just kind of 1, 0, 1, 0. And then I might just go 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and for me that was just kind of like nothingness, just focus on nothing, 0. And to me that was like the planet's round, orbit, round, 0, nothing, nothing, nothing. And then I try and think about just white, 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 and bring everything into this whiteness instead of all this colour and speediness and things going on all over the place. And me pressing helped kind of bring that about. But then like a moment later I might be just kind of, hitting myself and hitting my legs and hitting my forehead, and I don't know, like doing this with my hair and like screwing up my face. I mean, it's just the most intense thing anyone would ever go through. And that hitting yourself is just kind of me, just kind of, is this really me? Am I here? Am I on this planet? What the fuck is going on? And it just, your senses are so unbelievably heightened, and that just kind of sensation of that feeling sensation is just maybe taking your mind away from all this that's going inside here in your brain. Let's just check if there's something else to say. Oh. Yeah, so time from very focused to very short moments to just stretching out, and just the intensity of it all. And I just hope that these kind of explanations help with, if you're caring for someone with bipolar or a mental health problem, there is so much going on in here that you have no idea. So just literally, I don't know, do whatever you can to help. If they ask for water, if they ask for food, if they ask for sleeping pills, or I don't know, from your perspective, do what you think is right for that person, because it's insane in the membrane and it's not pleasant. It's an extremely scary place to be, and people who think that mania or a manic episode or psychosis is kind of fun, or that being elevated is must be quite good, feeling more energised and maybe feeling a bit happier, or feeling like you've got more self-confidence and like you could do anything. That might be a tiny weeny part of it, but I don't think I felt very much of that at all. And for me, most of it was pretty scary and pretty horrible, every moment of the way. I'm so glad I can laugh about it now, because I couldn't for years. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my movie about time and sensations. So click the subscribe button if you want to hear more, and press the like button if you're liking what you're hearing and seeing. And yeah, I'll see you next time.